Welcome to this Robertson construction site specific safety requirements training video. This training will outline the safety requirements for this project. The Robertson supervisor will provide any additional safety instructions specific to this site. Robertson has the project goal of 0 accidents and 0 injuries. The site-specific safety program has been developed for this project to ensure compliance with current federal, state, and local regulations. It is the obligation of all employees to be knowledgeable of these safety requirements to implement these guidelines while on construction sites. Work shall be performed in a safe manner to eliminate injury or illness to our employees, our customers, subcontractors, the public, and to any property. All employees new to this project, including new hires and transfers, shall watch this safety video on their first day and sign the acknowledgement form indicating they attended and understood the safety training. Any employee who is unsure of any information presented in this orientation must immediately request clarification. Employees who do not participate in the project orientation or refuse to sign the acknowledgement cannot work on this project. All subcontractors are required to submit their individual safety manual and globally harmonized system of classification and labeling of chemicals policies in accordance with their subcontract Exhibit B prior to commencing work on site. These policies shall be specific to this project. Subcontractors are required to provide all necessary safety equipment and training for their employees. In the event that a subcontractor must use equipment that is already installed, the subcontractor assumes liability for the proper use and care of the equipment and employee training. As an expert in the subcontractor's field of work, the subcontractor's safety representative has sole control over all requirements for doing the work safely, and Robertson is not responsible in any manner for the safety of the subcontractor's work. Project activities deemed to be an imminent danger to workers or the public will be ceased immediately. Repeated failures to correct unsafe practices will result in default and termination of this subcontract pursuant to Article 18. The Robertson supervisor will provide an overview of the work included on this project and the status of the work in progress on the site. In the event of an emergency requiring evacuation, such as extreme weather or a fire, an alarm will be sounded. The alarm will be one long continuous air horn blast for all emergencies. The alarm will be located in the project office or other designated areas. Follow the exit signs and evacuation plan that are posted or explained by the Robertson supervisor. All employees must report to the designated headcount area specified by the Robertson supervisor. The supervisors for each company must account for their employees from the daily sign-in sheets. The Robertson supervisor shall provide the details of the specific safety requirements for this project in addition to the information included in this training video. Examples of specific safety requirements include the following examples. Be sure to review the site logistics plan, including temporary fence and gates, emergency locations, trailers, concrete washout, portable toilets, dumpsters, etc. Review the parking requirements as directed by the Robertson superintendent. All deliveries to the job site must be coordinated with the Robertson superintendent. Access to and from the existing building shall be maintained at all times. All construction activities shall protect all existing adjacent buildings, streets, pavements, basements, waterproofing, etc. At the end of each shift, all materials and building structures shall be secured. Check for any hazardous materials or operations in the owner's manual that will impact the safety of our work. Review temporary power, overhead power lines, underground services, etc. Again, any employee who is unsure of the information presented in the orientation must immediately request clarification. Overall safety provisions. Strictly adhere to the site-specific safety policies mandated by owners and/or construction managers. If there is a difference between policies, the more stringent requirement shall apply. Safety meetings shall be held each week. These meetings include topics relevant to upcoming work and may include reviews of recent incidents. All required training and certifications for OSHA shall be completed. Associates can only complete tasks that they have been trained and authorized to do. These tasks include, but are not limited to, equipment operation, fork truck operation, cranes, signaling, rigging, etc. Hard hats, safety glasses, long pants, shirts that cover the body and shoulders, and work boots are required at all times. Provide fall protection requirements for all operations above 6 feet. All scaffolding should be erected by a competent person and approved for use with all required components, such as a solid base, nailed mud sills, planks, toe boards, railings, access, etc. Subcontractors should provide a GHS plan to Robertson, including labeling, SDS, employee information and training, and HCS communication on multi-employer worksites. All cans, drums, and containers must be clearly labeled to identify the contents. Hand and eye wash stations should be available to employees that are involved in the placing of concrete products and the installation of masonry. No deadly weapons may be brought onto the premises. Portable music devices are not permitted on job sites. Field employees are not permitted to use their personal mobile electronic equipment during work hours, except during breaks or at the discretion of the project superintendent. Personal equipment is to be left in your vehicle or lunchbox. Ground fault circuit protection shall be used on all temporary wiring. Ground fault circuit interrupters must be used with all extension cords. Install GFCI at the electric source. Daisy chaining of extension cords is not permitted. Provide coordination for the location of all utilities for their work. Report OSHA recordable incidents and property damage to the project superintendent as soon as possible. Do not exceed 24 hours. Absolutely no tobacco products or electronic cigarettes will be permitted on owner property during the pre-construction, construction, or post-construction phases. All unsafe tasks or situations must be reported to the supervisor immediately. Keeping the job site clean is the responsibility of all workers. All equipment which has a restricted view must have operable backup alarms. Provide daily visual walk-around inspections of equipment prior to starting and operating. All spills of oil, diesel, gas, or any hazardous material must be reported to your supervisor immediately. Each subcontractor shall give notice to the Ohio Utilities Protection Service and to any owners who are non-members at least 2 working days prior to the start of construction. Overhead and underground utilities and locations shall be marked and labeled. Existing interior utilities shall be de-energized and locked out/tagged prior to the start of work. All equipment must maintain a minimum clearance distance of 10 feet from energized power lines. Lockout and tagout procedures must be followed when work is performed on equipment or machinery. The individual performing the work must have their own lock and/or tag on the isolating device. All straight ladders must be properly set up and secured at the top. They must extend at least 36 inches above the access landing. Step ladders cannot be used as a straight ladder. They must be opened up and set on level surface only. Do not stand or sit on the top step or platform of the step ladder. All exposed rebar and/or form pins must be covered to protect employees from impalement hazards. Areas where overhead work is being performed must be properly barricaded. All exposures to silica must be controlled by a wet method, vacuum, or respiratory protection. All combustion engine equipment operations shall take precautions to prevent employees from overexposures to carbon monoxide. In conclusion, please help Robertson achieve the project goal of 0 accidents and 0 injuries. We value your hard work and experience in working together toward a safe project. Please take responsibility for your own safety, as well as the safety of those around you, by complying with all local, state, and federal regulations, as well as this site-specific plan. Please review the additional project safety requirements with the Robertson supervisor and make sure any questions you have are answered. Then, sign the site-specific safety orientation agreement. Thank you for your attention and work safe.